God, you guys, my jaw is on the floor. I had no idea.
And I can't cut it out because we got way too far.
Because you're a moron.
I have to eat it. I just have to eat all of that.
Guy looked like he was like literally gonna explode from the tits. I mean, it was just like, it was
Just a bunch of hack daddies.
hack daddies.
Brothers, gentlemen, fellas.
Brothers, you threw me off there.
We're on episode 10. I had to change it up a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 10 of the Juice Boys is here, whether you like it or not.
I'm honored. I'm shocked. I'm kind of appalled.
I'm glad they keep asking us back.
Yeah. Well, as far as things that appall Joey, we got Juice Boy McCoy and Pulp Pelletier recording together today.
Oh my God, you guys, my jaw is on the floor. I had no idea. Why are you in Fort Collins, Cody?
Because I thought we would celebrate our 10th episode by putting 66% of the effort in to get us together.
Which, in fairness, 66% is the highest any of us have scored on anything.
I cannot believe this. Why are you in Colorado?
Don't worry about it. I'm here to celebrate our 10th episode.
You sandbagging son of a bitch.
Well, like we said, 10th episode, 2/3 of the Juice Boys are in the same room.
And
I'm stuck in Bailey.
Thank you for that reaction,
Bailey,
Joey. Let's talk about what we're drinking.
You are drinking my envy.
We've got a bottle of Joey's Envy here, which is just Angel's Envy that you drink after you make Joey sad.
Yes. We're drinking it together.
That's bizarrely low. Why have you drank so much?
Hey, we're in the same room. That tends to happen.
This is Juice Boy 10. We're all in, baby.
We are it. Hold on. Let me formally introduce the segment, motherfucker. Let's hold on.
I gotta talk about what I'm drinking, dude.
Oh yeah.
Geez.
Yeah. What do we got here, Joe?
Because you guys, you're just gonna cut me out of everything now because you are together in the same room. Okay, let me get my composure. Let me get my wits back together. All right. Let's get some composure. Let's get some composure.
Listener, Joey has wit.
I thought I was gonna be super excited and like really cool because I'm drinking a special bottle of whiskey that the Mr. Pulp Chris Pelletier brought up. I thought it was special for me and him until I saw you were here. But I'm drinking Basil Hayden Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, artfully aged by James B. Beam Distilling.
We jumped the gun. We got our drinks in. Me and Chris are in the same room. Welcome to the Juice Boys 10.
I feel left out. That's my squeeze.
Oh.
You jerks.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not really a hot take as much as it's just your emotions.
Just disappointment. We'll jump right into it. I guess we normally start with what are we drinking, but me and Chris are drinking the same thing.
We went ahead and covered it.
And Joey's drinking Basil Hayden. But let's jump right in the sports talk, shall we, gentlemen? I'm just gonna take it over here for a moment. I had the best day ever, and I have to tell you guys about it. Broncos gave up 70 points. I had to illegally stream it to watch it, and I was just so happy. Nothing's ever made me more happy. Actually, the only thing that made me more happy.
Are you serious?
I'm just sad about your life now.
Yeah.
The only thing that made it better was the Chiefs doubling down and blowing out the Bears by halftime, and then tripling down by Miss Taylor Swift being in the stands.
Oh, God.
And my wife has never been so invested in a Chiefs game. The whole house was a buzz. It was the greatest few hours that I have ever witnessed. And then they went downtown after to a restaurant we've all been to. Oh, it was just, guys.
It's all a sham, Cody. It's all for publicity. His jersey sales went up 400% in a day. All right, the Swifties are now just like, she put Travis Kelce on the map. It's like, oh my God, Travis Kelce's a Hall of Famer. All right, well, people know who Travis Kelce is before Taylor Swift. They knew who Travis Kelce was before this weekend.
First of all, dynamite impression of a Swiftie. Second of all, I didn't know who Travis Kelce was before Thursday of last week, so you're wrong.
It was just such a good day, guys. I just had to relive it with you guys one more time. The Donkeys gave up 70.
We watched that together. We watched that together, and that was
we watched enough of it together. And it was, we just kept on looking back, and it was like, oh, 56, oh, 60 something, oh, 70.
Like 70 rarely happens in college, let alone the NFL. And my biggest takeaway from it is how is everybody still have their job? How is everybody?
How did Vance Joseph get on the plane?
Oh, buddy.
I'm shocked, man. I mean, it was just we were talking about it to my 1A football team. We were just like, we've never seen a team quit like that,
Just
and
give
we
up
made
so
and
completely.
we beat a team 56-0 last week, and the Broncos gave up worse than they did. You know, and it's just that was pathetic. And how can they keep their job? All right, I mean, if I am the worst in the entire league, I'm not saying like, okay, so I'm in the ass principal. We come back and I have the worst discipline statistics for any school in Colorado.
For the last
Historically.
70 years.
Yeah, since 1966. All right, I had the lowest. This is unprecedented numbers, and they're just going to welcome me back? Absolutely not. This is like that. Somebody has to get fired for that. Somebody has to.
My favorite stat of the whole thing was they gave up more points in one game than the Broncos have scored all season long. It just made me so happy.
I bet it did. You jerk.
Chris, your thought on the Broncos?
Yeah, I mean it's a total and complete low point, especially with Sean Payton having to eat his words now for how much smack he talked as a talking head last season, how much smack he talked rolling into this season. It's one of those where it's enjoy your crow, buddy. Like I mean I got nothing else to say except for the fact that like you deserve every bit of shit being shoveled on you right now because you were just absolutely not cutting it.
Moving into the big question, can the Dolphins be stopped? We just looked, and they're actually underdogs for this upcoming game. They're on an absolute offensive tear right now.
But they're
Tua has been sacked maybe one time. He's not getting hit at all.
They're going to play a good team this week. All right, they're going to play like a really good team, and I know that means I'm trashing the Patriots too, but Buffalo is different. It's going to be a really good game, and I get why they're dogs. It's in Buffalo. It's a hard place to play. You're not going to see Buffalo give up 70, maybe 40, but they have the offense that can back it up. So I think it should be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, hell of a game.
Concur.
What 0-3 team has the most concerns at this point? I think it's the Vikings, the Bears, the Broncos, and the Panthers are the last three of the 0-3s. Oh. Which one has the most concerns? The Broncos and the Bears had a rough week. Panthers has a hurt quarterback. I think Bryce Young was hurt last week. The Vikings, I mean, they were incredible last year, won a lot of close games. Kirk Cousins might be getting traded. Who has the most concerns?
I got to go Vikings.
I got to go Vikings, man. I think the Broncos were so bad last year. The Bears were so bad last year. The Vikings were, like you just said, seemingly amazing. And then they come out and do this to start the season, and they have, like we talked about, they've continued these astronomical stats of Justin Jefferson still on pace for 2,600 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Kirk Cousins is still on pace for around 6,000 yards passing, and they are still 0-3.
Do you trade Kirk Cousins? He's a free agent after the end of the season.
I mean, he's certainly not going to be any more valuable than he is right now.
Yeah.
I'm hoping not, because Justin Jefferson was my round one pick one in both of my leagues. So hang on to Kirk, please.
Yeah, he's putting up fantasy points. So it's a way like, but I completely agree. I think this is the highest that you can get for Kirk Cousins, because he's coming on. His contract when he signed it was stupid, and now it's like that's
cheap.
That's cheap, and it terrifies me because I think him and Garrett Wilson in New York could tear it up.
Yeah, but Rodgers is supposed to be back next season too. But
so
you know what Kirk Cousins is?
The last year of Cousins' contract, dude.
This is Kirk. It is. He's Ben Zobrist.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins going to get traded as the rental for the year, like Ben Zobrist used to get traded to whatever team was making a playoff run.
Yeah, Ben Zobrist won a couple World Series, man,
by getting traded after the All-Star game to the Royals and the Cubs.
Yeah.
And he was the key. So that Kirk Cousins,
right?
Kirk Cousins will be the first rental player that they let walk. But that means his trade value is obviously very low. You can't give up a ton if you get it's a 10-game rental.
I think the Jets are willing to do that, and that
They're
scares
desperate.
me.
They don't have a second round from Rodgers. So what are you going to trade? A third round, fourth round for? Oh,
a player? I don't know, man. Are they going to have
who though? Who? I mean, do you get rid of one of your elite running backs to go and
you trade Dalvin Cook back? There you go, Dalvin.
Welcome home. Hope that home hasn't sold yet.
And then Justin Fields looked really bad.
Yeah, how's that pick looking, buddy? How's that offensive player of the year pick looking?
Oh, you were waiting for that, weren't you?
Oh, yes.
You were
I was
waiting for
talking
that.
about it all day Sunday. Just trash.
Were you?
Yeah.
I did pick him. He might turn it around, but, man, he can't complete a pass. They're not letting him run. He's trashing his coaches. They got, $100,000 worth of equipment stolen. Their defensive coordinator resigned and might be getting investigated.
Yeah,
Tough bear to be a Bears fan.
That news dropped last week. It was crazy. Apparently, Charles Tillman, old Peanut Tillman, for the Bears, is now an FBI agent.
FBI agent.
And he's the one who was looking into this entire thing. And when the news initially broke, it said that they raided his house and they raided Hallis Hall, which is the Bears team headquarters. And then they came out and denied it all. So I'm like, what is happening? But then he left. And there's all this weird buzz about potential stuff involving children. Super nasty. Oh, God, bad. And so, and then Justin Fields is he bad?
Oh, he might be bad.
He's
Ohio State quarterback in the NFL bad?
He's the next in line in a proud tradition of Ohio State quarterbacks being drafted way earlier than they deserve and then doing bunk in the NFL.
Should he be Cordero Patterson and just be a player? He's a freak athlete.
He's so athletic. Athlete. Yeah, take some of that decision making off his shoulders and just let him go out and be an athlete. Not a bad thing to give a try to.
Broncos have a lot of concerns, though. I mean, that was historical concerns.
That's the thing, is the Bears and the Broncos are going to just settle it for us as far as who's the bigger dumpster fire. But both teams have been trashed for how many years now?
Yeah.
I think Broncos came in with a little bit more hype, but Bears are used to drinking that Kool-Aid each and every offseason. So I think both teams came in with wildly out of sync expectations for what we've seen so far.
That is very true.
The best part is, just like we mentioned last week, the Chargers and the Vikings, someone had to win. Well, someone has to win. The Bears and Broncos are playing this weekend, and no matter what, someone has to come out with a win.
I'm a fan of Team Chaos. Let's go tie.
Oh, could you imagine?
3-1 for each of them.
Would it be a shootout or no score?
Got to be no score, right?
It ends with 2 safety, 2-2.
2-2.
All the jokes are flying that Fox had 24 million people watching the Chiefs Bears, had Taylor Swift and the Swifties clock in, and the Bears were so bad they still cut away at halftime for the Cowboys Cardinals game. That's how bad the Bears were, that they had a ratings machine. And God bless them. God bless them. They're trying their heart out. Moving on to CU have another thing coming, playing USC after getting their arse handed to them by Oregon. I watched the first half of that. The game was literally over by the first possession. They went down and scored. There was a 3-and-out, and it was 14-0 before you could smack your own ass.
I've never heard that reference before. First of all, that kind of took me back. But
I'm sorry.
But
I thought you didn't laugh. I thought it just wasn't funny.
No, I was just like, wait, what? I could slap my own ass pretty damn fast. All right. But,
CU plays USC and Caleb Williams now. It'll be a battle between two Heisman candidates. Bo Nix already got Shador's number. Yep. So can CU pull it off, or do they have another thing coming?
Oh, they absolutely have another thing coming. This is what happens when you go. Yeah, this is what happens when you go up against a just completely stacked team, and you've kind of popped early, and that's probably about the height of your season.
Yep. What's the line? What's the line on that game?
Minus 21.5.
Oh, again?
CU.
Oh,
CU. Caleb Williams looks unstoppable.
Oh,
Yeah, Joey and I watched a decent bit of that this weekend as well, and Caleb Williams is dropping dimes. Dude looks ready for the NFL, and I know CU's secondary is supposed to be decent. I just don't know how you can possibly protect against how red hot he is.
Wait, you guys were you were together this weekend.
Yep.
Sons of bitches.
I am the middleman in this Juice Boys triumvirate.
We're really good at getting 66% in orange together.
An orange?
Like we're the Juice Boys. Like,
oh my gosh. Okay. I didn't think about that. Okay, that makes sense.
Listener, that was a stretch now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
we got to jump to baseball because this is insane and no one's talking about it. This feels like a Wilt Chamberlain story. Ronald Acuna for the Braves is about to break 40 and 70 seasons. For those that don't know, that's 40 home runs, 70 stolen bases. Normally, a 30-30 season is the feat. Like that's incredible.
In years past, that was like the achievement.
The benchmark, yes.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt Jr. of the Royals is actually about to go for a 30-50 season. So, and yet Ohtani is still going to win the MVP, not playing the last, 4 series?
Yeah, but Ohtani's in the American League, so he'll win that MVP, and then Acuna could win the National League MVP.
Yeah, I was going to say.
What am I doing?
I thought Acuna was the favorite, which fantastic.
What am I doing?
Acuna's biggest competition is his own teammate, Matt Olson.
Who's bombing balls.
Oh, my Lord. Matt Olson, which nobody was talking about this year. Nobody was talking about Matt Olson. All he did was go out there and hit 53 home runs and 133 RBIs.
Slapping dingers.
Do you guys see the statistics for the Braves this year? Right now, they're 100. They're 156 when I see the statistic right here. Right? Listen to this. Acuna, 40 home runs, 101 RBIs. Ozzie Albies, 32 home runs, 104 RBIs. Austin Riley, 37 and 96. Matt Olson, 53 and 133. Marcell Ozuna, 36 and 90. Orlando Arcia, 1764. Their worst player on their team hit 18 home runs and 54 RBIs, and their catcher went 21 and 68. Are you freaking kidding? And then their rotational dude, their utility player, Eddie Rosario, hit 21 home runs. I mean, they are a freaking powerhouse. And for the first time since 1993, neither the Red Sox, the Cardinals, or the Yankees are going to be in the playoffs this year. For the first time since 1993, neither of those 3 teams are going to be in. You're seeing a changing of the guard in baseball, and I think the Braves are about to start a dynasty. They've already won, but I mean they're going to roll. I think they're going to win again this year, and I hope they beat the Dodgers. I hope they beat the Dodgers.
Fingers crossed. Acuna gets the MVP.
Why did I think I know baseball and I completely brain farted on that? And I can't cut it out because we got way too far.
Because you're a moron.
I have to eat it. I just have to eat all of that.
This is a show for the morons, by the morons.
By the morons.
That was the reason for everything that we do.
We're
bound by the 3 L's, and I didn't get to say it in the intro.
What are those?
It's not even the 3 L's. It's the 3 P.
What's wrong with you, McCoy?
Jeez. Oh, Chris poured me a Beatrice pour.
There's the first L.
We're bound by law. Now I just have to say it. No, we're bound by law. And the 3 B's. Betting, bullshit, and booze.
Booze.
Oh, my.
Also, that was
a lot.
That was 1 L. That wasn't 3. I was promised 3.
Oh, dear Lord. I just butchered the whole thing.
Bound by law,
liquor.
After. I'm way better at this than you. So,
Wow. Thanks for saving me there.
Yep.
And to wrap up the sports docket, Devante does not want to wait around, gents. He's done. He doesn't want to wait around for the team to figure it out. Raiders are 1-2. Mm-hmm. Not looking awesome right now.
Down by 8 points and said, let's kick a
field goal.
Yes.
Hey, we're on the 4-yard line. That's the time we should definitely be kicking a field goal rather than
4th and goal from the 4, and let's kick a field goal down by 8 with 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolute
what?
idiots. You don't want to wait around, but yet you go to a team that hasn't won a playoff game in
Oh my God.
2000s. Like it was.
I think it was
2001?
2002.
Was that
because
it?
they
Okay.
went to the Super Bowl in 2002 with Rich Gannon, and I think
Yep.
that was the last
Okay.
time that they won
So,
a
yeah.
playoff game.
So yeah, so it's been 2 decades since they last won a playoff game, and you're showing up being like, why are we not executing better? I thought this team was a perennial powerhouse. Why am I not being added onto the roster, and now suddenly we're competing for a Super Bowl year in and year out after 2 decades of failure?
So,
He didn't sign up for Jimmy Garoppolo. He signed up for Derek Carr.
did not.
They're best buds.
Yeah, he did not. That's
I
fair.
mean, tomato.
Potato, potato.
Let's call that whole thing off.
That wraps it up for the sports talking.
All right.
Music break.
Chris, who's sponsoring today's stat of the day.
All right. Today's stat of the day is brought to you by Vance Joseph's agent.
Oh God!
Hello,
Timely.
listeners. It's me, Vance Joseph's agent. And I'm here to proudly announce I am no longer taking on clients from my sports management agency because I'm opening a new business as a miracle worker. Now, it takes a big man to admit when he's wrong. And it takes a bigger man to convince an NFL franchise to give a second chance to a guy you just finished paying for his last total and complete meltdown. And folks, I'm proud to announce that I am that bigger man. So please, if you are in need of miracles to be performed that essentially border on outright fraud, please consider me Vance Joseph's agent. Because for a measly $1 million, I can help you get literally any job you want, regardless of whether or not you would be an unmitigated disaster in that role. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you're needing a miracle and you don't mind being an embarrassment on national television, look for me, Vance Joseph's agent. Broncos country, let's lie.
Oh,
Yes.
that's good money right there we got on that ad.
That's big money.
That's
right there.
timely money. That's like they came out at the last second for that ad space.
Oh yeah. He came sprinting up to me earlier today, cash in hand, which I have already spent on a red parlay.
Oh, we're
let's
supposed
go.
to spend that together.
I stacked it up on this week's picks. It's a guaranteed dub.
Here we go, boys. In the 1943 NFL season, 2 NFL teams combined for the season because they both lost so many players to World War II military service. What 2 NFL teams combined for one team in 1943 to create one team in 1943? They also combined their names.
Well, that takes my guess away. I thought it was the Canton Bulldogs and the Cleveland Browns, and that's why they want to start going by the dog pound.
2 names were combined in 1943 due to a lack of roster due to the draft of the war, which is wild to think about.
Wow. Yeah.
It was the Reds and then the Skins? I mean, it became the Redskins?
No, after the war, the teams broke up again. So it's for this year they combined, and then they've been separate ever since. Both teams are still in existence.
Wow. Oh my God, this is insane.
This is
I'm just trying, like, before I can even have a guess, I'm just trying to wrap my brain around a world in which professional athletes get drafted into war service.
I'm going to guess the Chicago Bears and the Cardinals because they both played in Chicago at that time. But the Bear Cardinals doesn't make sense.
I was gonna say, what's the
Bearcats.
name? What's
the
the name?
Bearcats. I
The
don't
Beardinals.
The
Cardinals.
the Cardin Bears.
Cardin Bears. The Red Bears.
Oh man. I don't even know if both of these teams were in the NFL, but I just feel like going with Giants and Jets.
No, the Jets weren't around.
Jets were, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
they weren't?
they-
Okay.
So Giants and
Giants
who's
Eagles. The Jeagles. The Giant Eagles.
the Giant? what did you say? The Giants.
Eagles. They're the
No,
Giant
the
Eagles.
Giant Eagles.
Yeah.
Welcome to the field. The Giant Eagles.
Eagles.
Who's the mascot for that? A giant
Very
eagle.
large eagle. Yeah.
We had to make a new mascot. The last eagle was just regular
It was
size,
actually
like an
4.
ass.
Yeah, it was 4 people in an eagle suit. Who are you going with, Chris? The Giants and Eagles?
Sure, let's go with that.
50% ding, ding, ding.
Okay.
1943, the Eagles and Steelers combined for one season to make the Steagles.
The Steagles.
The Steagles. They both lost so many people to military service, they decided to join forces for a single season.
You're saying it wasn't the Cardinal Bears?
It wasn't the Giant Eagles.
The Giant Eagles is my favorite.
That's hilarious, Joey.
Large Eagles.
That is so dumb. That is so...
Well above average-sized Eagles.
Yeah.
4 people in a mascot suit, just throwing their ass off before there was a union on mascots.
Running around terrifying children.
Oh, music break. The big potato. The big tot.
Oh.
The big topic of the day. You ready? Top 2 sports moments you would want to witness in person. Before we even start, we had to all agree, because we didn't want to steal each other's answers, we would all like to witness the gladiator battles in the Roman Coliseum.
Specifically, Emperor Commodus competing in the Coliseum. We all pretty much immediately thought that was our first pick, and then all took ownership that we all took this prompt in the exact.
It was the Spider-Man meme of all pointing at each other that we all wanted.
I want it. I think. I just want to go.
We could all go together. Get hammered on wine, cheer.
Would we cheer? I don't know. I think I don't know what I would do. I think I would be terrified. But
if we were in the stands.
Yeah, watching. I know nothing's going to happen in the stands, but just watching men actually fight to the death. I don't know why I'm so interested in that, but I just want to see it. It'd be so scary and amazing and enthralling.
Can you imagine us 3 sitting together with togas on and with a wine in hand?
I think we should recreate that for this week's album art.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That would be spectacular.
We'll find that.
I love that. Just the energy of the Coliseum. I want to feel it. I want to be there. I want to witness it. It would be terrifying and exciting and awesome and thrilling, and I want to be there.
Here's a side potato. Here's a mini red potato.
Ooh.
Who would be the best gladiator of us?
Oh my God.
I
feel like Joey.
I think I'm going Joey.
Joey's taken 10 times more abuse than any of us.
That's what I'm saying. I know
and
that
is still just out there crushing life.
Joey would black out and he would become another person.
I think I'd try to run and then my knee would just go back, and then I just have to just gnaw, bite, and crawl. And,
Joey would just blink, and as soon as his eyes open, he just looks around, and there are just bodies and mayhem everywhere, and he's holding nothing. It's all his just bare hands. He just went absolutely ape shit.
That's right.
And he doesn't remember a single thing. He would have just.
Of it.
All right, Joey, you are the Juice Boys gladiator.
Like an activated splinter cell. Joey Linehan just tears people to bits.
That's right. Congrats, Joey.
Way to go, buddy.
You're our guy.
Send me on the chariot.
Chariot. But who wants to start? Top 2 sports moments you'd want to witness in person.
I'll start.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Please.
I'll start.
That's more than okay. You won the
think
gladiatorial draft, so you get to go first.
I think with this pick for me, with being a history teacher for so long, being a sports fan for so long, being raised watching this game every year on its anniversary, and both my parents talking about watching it and what an unbelievable cultural, historical impact that it had. And on top of that, it was just an outstanding game. I would go back and watch the 1980 U.S. hockey game against the Soviet Union. I think that would be a good one. I think that because nobody at the time thought that they would actually win that game. So I just think that the energy and the feeling in that room when they actually start winning. Do you know in that game they only had 8 shots on goal?
Jeez.
USA. That's it. So they were just getting completely outplayed. Jim Craig, the goalie for the USA, stood on his head and had like 30 or 40 saves, something like that. and they just it was an absolutely incredible game. I mean, I've seen that game probably 15 times in my life, and then the movie Miracle is one of my all-time favorite movies, and I just think seeing that and what it meant for the country at the time, especially with the Soviet Union, was so badass. Number one pick right there. Won it.
Ooh, that's
Well
a good
done.
start.
Well
Christopher.
Yeah, so at first I thought that we were doing really old sports moments. So the first one that came to mind for me that I actually wound up scrapping, but I still just want to take ownership of is the first thing that popped up for me was in World War I on Christmas Day, the very first year, guys from the English and German armies wound up popping their heads out of their trenches and meeting in no man's land and playing soccer.
Yeah.
Which is just like a spectacular and amazing moment in history that then both sides of the war were like, absolutely not ever going to happen again. If you poke your head up and that guy isn't shooting at you, I'm going to shoot you from there on out. But the reason that I scrapped it is I realized that, like, as a spectator, that would basically just be watching a bunch of random 20-somethings play soccer while you do your best not to breathe in through your nose because you're standing in no man's land surrounded by dead bodies.
Yeah. And they're probably playing soccer in boots and like their own urine.
Yeah, like a really romanticized, really cool idea, but like as soon as I took a single extra thought, I was like, well, that would be a horrifying experience. So with that being said, I would love to be in the stands for the 1995 Nebraska Cornhuskers undefeated national championship. A little bit of a
different flavor. Yeah, a little bit different vibe there.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, as somebody who kind of got into Husker fandom once I went to Nebraska back in 2007, like I really was only kind of halfway paying attention up until then. And so I don't really have any personal recollection or personal experience of those glory years. I would love to just see what that atmosphere was like when you were just watching a bandsaw of a team that has been undefeated for back-to-back seasons. At the absolute apex of their reign.
Oh man, I'm gonna go the USA Dream Team run. If I was in the stand, and it's more of a historical thing because the games were absolute blowouts, but being able to watch the 10 greatest players to ever walk the face of the earth on the same court, playing together, having fun. It just, it inspired a world it made basketball international from that point on. So the game that we watched today was all started at that Dream Team point. And so either being at one of those practices or being at any of the games, oh man, watching Jordan be the face of that, watching Barkley get in fights with dudes who weigh 100 pounds less and just want his autograph. Like,
you are killing me, dude. I could show you that is my number one on my list. My number one on my list.
Just could you imagine being courtside?
But no, I put on there the USA.
So we're not just in the stands. We're
Oh, you're in it.
We've got the Joey Linehan CSU CU seats.
Hell yes, you do.
Oh, I love it.
3 rows from hostile territory.
Because it was the swan song for Magic Johnson. Larry's back was about to go out. It was as late as this moment could have happened. It was the latest this possibly could have happened.
I had just not even their games. I wanted to attend their practice because no one was allowed to attend their practice. They only had that one. I said, for me, if I want to be in there and attending the practice, being the only person in there and just sitting back and just watching these all-time greats just go freaking at it, and I would just be up there. Oh my God, just because that is what made that would be the best, because they know that no one else is in there, so they're going to be themselves. They're going to be swearing at each other and just going.
Oh, talking so much. It was Magic versus Jordan. Crap. It was Magic's group versus Jordan's group. Yeah. The greatest practices ever.
That's amazing. But here's where my brain took. No one's there. No one's allowed to be there. But they just look over and just Joey's standing.
Just eating some popcorn.
Standing at half court with a bag of Doritos that he brought himself. And they're like, but no one was allowed in. They're like, yeah, they're not. Who's that guy? We don't know, but he showed up in a time machine. So who the hell are we to ask?
And then he's my Doritos.
It's like, I'm just gonna. He's sitting in a plastic chair on the side.
Just gives a little wave. Don't mind me, fellas.
Hi, Larry. Hey,
how's your back?
Great job, Larry.
You gonna let him do that to you, Mike? You gonna let him do that to you?
In all of the rest of these, we're at least amongst the crowd. We're in the background, like we don't necessarily stand out. Joey's the only person there.
Oh, but it would be the greatest moment.
Oh, it
would be
spectacular.
Oh gosh, Chris number 2.
I'm sorry, I just need a moment. I just love the idea.
Just visualizing.
Yeah, of just Joey sitting in a lawn chair with a bag of Doritos, just sitting there watching a practice.
It's like, hey, that's a foul.
The only person in that tiny gym stands, just dead center in the center line, middle of the thing, not high, not low, dead center by myself, watching that practice. Oh, that would be it.
All of a sudden, Michael Jordan comes off for a breather. Joey walks up and asks if the hot dog guy is going to be coming around anytime.
Yeah. No, this is practice, sir.
My number 2 pick, 1997 Masters. Tigers' first major win. He's been coming through the ranks. He's been hyped up as the next big thing. And here he goes out and executes. And you are witnessing the very beginning in what would become possibly the greatest reign in golf of all time. I mean, certainly the greatest reign in our lifetimes, arguably the greatest of all time. Jack Nicklaus, obviously, also in that GOAT conversation, but being there, witnessing that very first win, the fist pump, the red on black, the whole, just everything. And also you get it for an entire week. I mean, just day in, day out, getting to be on that course, getting to watch that would be, that would be a spectacular thing to get to relive.
Joseph, number 2? Or did you already spew your number 2?
I was going to say, if you want me to, like my...
No, that's mine.
You already did.
Use a different one, yeah.
I know, I want it.
Joey's got 9 ready just in case we want to do this until midnight.
But I want it. All right. So, my number 2 that I would want to be at is game 4 of the 2004 ALCS when the Red Sox were down 3-0, and Dave Roberts stole the base. Big Papi drove him in to go in to tie the game, and then hit the walk-off in extra innings. That was the thing that sparked the run that they were on, and that, I think, you talk to any Red Sox fan, that game and that moment was the most memorable of any of their World Series runs. So I think that game, being in Boston with no hope whatsoever, they got their asses kicked by the Yankees the game before that. I think it was like 19-7. The game before that, and they come out and they pull that off and start the whole, you shouldn't have let us got that one, and it ran history. Would have been awesome. I wanted to be there.
You got to go Wilt Chamberlain Hundy, right?
Just to say you saw it?
That you were in the building? Because it wasn't televised. I think there was only maybe radio. It was a pretty small gym. And I feel like I would know enough to be looking like, you guys fucking see what's going on here? This guy's scoring. This
guy's cherry picking. This guy's cherry picking, just sitting under the basket.
This guy scored 100 points.
Yeah.
So that would be. There's very few eyewitnesses left, but I think being in the stands for that, being able to. I mean, it's never going to be reached. Kobe got to 81. Devin Booker got, I think, high 70s. It's like no one's ever going to get 100. No one's ever going to get close to 100. It's not possible. There's no three-point line.
You know what? I think that would be an incredible thing to see. I got 2 takes on this. All right, first, I think that it would be an incredible thing to see because exactly what you said. There's only a few eyewitnesses left, so you would have to be like sworn into that. They have to take it being like we have to have people say they saw this. You know, it's like when you're golfing and you don't have a witness sign your card. You know, it's like that's bullshit. That didn't happen. You know, and so it's just like you being a witness to that game would be like more than history, you know, because you are a testament. All right.
Yes,
you were
that's
there.
what I am. I'm a pillar.
That's right. And then my other take on this is
testify.
Testify. I think my other take on this is I think somebody will 100% break 100 points.
No way.
I think that will happen. I think look at how this is going right now. Look at like the explosion in scoring, the explosion in offense in the NBA, and all the kids are doing now is shooting threes. Nobody practices anything down low. Look at Victor Wembanyama. Look at Chet Holmgren. Look at all them. They're like, look at he could be a guard. Why the fuck do you want him to be a guard? Put him down in the post. Have him throw bows and get 20 rebounds and dominate down there. That's not basketball anymore. Basketball is all shooting. Basketball is all like fast-paced scoring. I can easily see somebody. I was blown away. Like if Damian Lillard has dropped like several now 60-point games. Devin freaking Booker dropped a 70-point game.
That's
all
fine.
right. I'm talking about when somebody who's really good. I mean, Devin Booker can ball, but I'm talking like if Kobe Bryant played right now, if Michael Jordan played right now, Jordan could drop 100 right now. He could. Jordan could drop 100 points in a game right now because of how he just absolutely dominated from the mid range. And then when he wanted to shoot threes, he could shoot threes. I'm telling you, man. There's this. I don't think that is an impossible thing to break.
That's a debate for another day because that is both. That is.
But you're
wrong.
saying 60, 70 points. Like they have to do half again.
Yeah, they got to score 40 points.
Like
more.
they've put out absolute just astronomical numbers, and you're saying they could have done 50% more of that.
They need 50 at half. They need 50 at half.
Yep.
You're wrong.
Yep.
It was either that moment or literally any time in the 96, 97, 98 Bulls playoffs when I was at a home game in Chicago to watch the introductions of the players in the Chicago Bowl to get the shivers, to get, it'd been electric.
Fire up Sirius.
Holy cow. I watched that.
I was going to say Jordan's last shot with the Bulls, but that was in Utah.
It was on the road. I almost said that.
Yeah, it was on the road.
But the introductions to the Bulls in the playoffs with that crowd and that music, the Alan Parsons Project.
It makes all the difference of like the setting, because I could have said when the Red Sox broke the 86-year curse in 04. But no, because that was in St. Louis.
Yeah, it's not as sexy.
It's not the same. I was like, you have to be there with the people at the home and just, oh man.
Okay, so my honorable mention was going to be, but I was going to go with the Mark McGuire versus Sammy Sosa home run derby.
Fuck yeah, that's a good one.
Go be electric.
Go and watch that and just look around the crowd and be like, you guys are just like the people that are showing up to WWF pretending that it's still real.
Yeah.
Like you see that these guys are two Easter Island skulls attached to Hulk bodies, right? Like
it's real to me, damn it.
It's real to me, damn it. Like these guys are more juiced up than the horses at the Kentucky Derby. Well, let's go for it. Like let's watch these two.
Jose Canseco was around that. Like, oh my God, just juicing his brains out. Ken Caminetti, the guy looked like he was like literally gonna explode from the tits. I mean, it was just like,
just a bunch of hack daddies.
Yeah, hack daddies. You know,
Mo Vaughn. Hey, shout out Mo Vaughn.
Mo Vaughn was not a Reuter. Mo Vaughn was not a Reuter. He was just a big badass who hit bombs.
Is Mo Vaughn the new Randy Johnson for the next 10 episodes?
God, I love
He probably won't delete our Instagram tags.
I bet. I hope my parents still have my Mo Vaughn jersey from when I was a kid.
Oh, I love that.
It was incredible.
Oh, please wear it next time.
Yeah, I had Mo Vaughn, Pedro Martinez, Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz. It was awesome. All right, now that I'm all pumped up, talk about these great sports moments. Remember,
we should do that again. We could do like a part 2 of that at some point.
Yeah, that was fun.
I do. I got plenty more, but that would be so much fun to see all those. All right, so if you guys want to hear more fun, exciting things in the future, remember, you can now listen to the show on all major podcast networks, including Google, Spotify, and Apple.
It's like you start a new audio track when you jump to the platforms.
I got to make sure the listener can understand me. If you're enjoying the show, Cody, please consider following and rating the show and leave us a review if you listen through Apple. Also, be a friend. Unlike my friends who left me out tonight.
You guys got together literally 3 days ago, and I was not
a
there.
Secret.
We're
It
not
wasn't a
friends. We're
secret.
brothers, Joe.
No, don't let this
Sometimes
podcast.
brothers hurt each
Bound
other.
by the 3 L's and B's. The 6 letters.
Don't let this
Look
podcast.
at us. We
be
learned a
secret.
second letter today. What are we talking about?
Be a friend, tell a friend.
Yeah. Be a friend. Tell a friend about the podcast. Also, you can now follow us on Instagram at Juice Boys Show. Back to you, Cody.
Thanks for the handoff.
Now Cody gets to hand it off again.
Yeah. Chris, who are the
Fantastic.
picks sponsored by?
So today's picks are brought to you by the good people at Make America Kansas City Pack, who would like to tell you about why you should support Cody McCoy for President of the United States of America. Now today, Cody's body may only be 21 years old, but his soul was born in 1952. And Cody has pledged that every article of clothing he owns is old enough to file for Social Security. So we at Make America Kansas City Pack think that's close enough to be eligible. Cody McCoy has a cost-effective plan in place to address climate change by harnessing the heat energy contained in all of the hot air blustering from the mouths of Bills and Bengals fans. Even if that air smells like clove cigarettes and buffalo wings.
That probably does.
It probably does. And though he is too modest to admit it, Cody and his wife were the original KC chief and Swiftie connection that directly led to Travis Kelce and T Swift herself getting together. A connection that is already healing this great nation.
This is your fault.
Damn right.
This is your fault.
And last, Cody McCoy has promised to heal this nation further by vowing to launch Jackson Mahomes into the sun. A move he feels will allow this country the calm it so desperately needs.
Oh, thank you, Cody.
So vote
Thank
Cody
you.
McCoy, because if this country gets left in the hands of Linehan, there will be nothing left for the everyman.
What?
Wow.
So vote with your conscience, vote with your heart, and together we can move this country forward by making America Kansas City and supporting Cody McCoy.
2 political ads in 2 weeks.
We're getting
Why-
real political up in here.
Why am I now not the champion of the everyman?
Battle lines have been drawn, boys.
What? Cody,
I do declare.
this is how? How could you do this?
I can do this by wrapping up with picks, Joe.
Picks?
Picks.
I'll give you some picks.
Also, am I echoing when
Picks.
Chris talks, Joey? Or is it just on the ads?
I just heard echo a lot there.
Has it been the whole show?
I've done it a couple times, and every time I've done, I'll go like, you fixed it.
Okay, but it has been the whole show? Like, it's only been maybe a handful of times?
No, it's only been a handful of times.
okay.
I noticed it.
That could have been rough.
Yeah.
All right, boys, wrapping up with picks. Chris, break it down for us. Who did well last week, and how are we looking for the season?
All righty. So for last week, last place is me.
Oh,
With a 1-2 showing, bringing me up to 3-3 for the season.
What'd you hit? What'd you lose?
Minnesota money line and Giants. San Francisco over lost. Oklahoma State and Iowa State over hit. In second place, Juice Boy McCoy.
Oh my yeah.
KC Chicago over. Miami -6.5 both hit. Notre Dame pushed. So Joey
That
get the job done
absolutely happened.
with 3-0.
Oh,
Bring him
my-
to 4-1-1. Oh, and Cody, you're 3-2-1 for the season.
3-2.
So
What were
Juice
my
Boy
picks?
Joy
What were
gets
my picks?
Pittsburgh +2.5, Cleveland, Tennessee over, and CSU +3.
Let's go Rams. Go Rams.
All of which hit.
Hell yeah, they did.
So you get to start us off, Joey. Who's your first
man.
pick of the week?
My first pick of the week? I think I am absolutely flabbergastedly floored that the Colts are favored to beat anybody. And I can't believe that they beat Baltimore last week. There's no way this is a good team. I'm taking the LA Rams +1.5 over the Colts. I can't. I hate the Colts, and I cannot believe that they're actually favored to win. There.
I like it.
I'm going to take The Seahawks plus 1.5. Am I crazy?
I can't. That's another one that blew my mind. Over the Giants? I'm like,
Over the
what?
Giants? The Giants should have lost to the Cardinals.
Garbage.
Like, the Seahawks figured it out last week. Yeah, I'm taking Seahawks plus 1.5. I think they're on the road, but that just seems like a lot. They're starting to get it figured out. Geno Smith is a legit quarterback. Pete Carroll is laughing his ass off that Russ is not doing as well in Denver.
I'm sure.
I think they have a
dude.
good squad.
You can honestly say this is not Russell Wilson's fault. He is not playing.
When are we going to say it's his fault?
It is not his fault right now. This is
Holy
not.
cow.
He didn't let 70 points up, bro. He doesn't play defense.
He's averaging like 18 points a game. What are we
He
talking
didn't have
about?
2 fumbles. He didn't have like a Cortland Sutton. Like he didn't have 2.
He's checked down Charlie. What are we doing? What do we do? We have to blame Russell Wilson.
There was absolutely trash offensive pass interference, and then illegal shift calls against the Broncos, and their 2 touchdown passes in the second quarter. I watched the game. It's not Russell Wilson's fault. Chris, what is your next pick?
Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and take the Broncos -3. I think in the who gives a shit bowl, I see the defense getting their asses kicked all week and coming out with a chip on their shoulder. Hopefully, even if they don't, what are you going to do? Like Justin Fields is going to do anything worthwhile with a football in his hand? Like I just don't see it happening. So pick number 1, Broncos -3. No, you're up.
I'm up because I won. I'm up because I'm the winner. All right,
buddy.
And so my next pick, because Cody took mine and then Chris took my other one. I'm still riding Baltimore Ravens, dude. I don't know how they lost that game, and my disdain for Deshaun Watson makes me feel like Baltimore being 2.5-point dogs is a slap in the face. So I'm taking Baltimore plus 2.5 against Cleveland. I think Baltimore's gonna win that game. I want them to win that game. I like Lamar Jackson, and let's go.
I'm gonna take Notre Dame -5.5. I'm gonna go back to the well. Okay. I just think they played well in that. But 5.5 points. They're playing Duke. Like, come on, they're a basketball school. They're gonna win by a touchdown. And they lost 2 spots in the rankings for just losing by an inch. Like it's an 11 versus 17 game. I don't think that's a real true like ranking. Like they lost 2 spots, and I don't really understand why. I mean, they lost on the last play by an inch. So
Duke looks legit though. It's at Duke. That's going to be
it's gonna be a challenge.
Tough game.
Did you see? Did you see how Notre Dame lost that game? On the back-to-back plays, the last 2 plays of the game, they had 10 defenders.
Unacceptable. I mean, that's
like you have 50 coaches on the sideline. How did nobody notice that?
You don't think one of the fat guys like on the line was like, "Why am I not in the game right now?"
How did nobody say that? Yeah. How did But
you would think when you weigh that much, you would think like, "Yeah, that's like kind of my bread and butter is like this moment."
2 plays, I understand one, but back-to-back plays, like no, this is the defense we want. We don't need an extra guy.
Yeah, but Notre Dame 5.5. I think they get the touchdown. I think it'll be a close game. I think by the end, Notre Dame gets it figured out, takes it away.
I'm going back to the well with Iowa State. Iowa State at Oklahoma over 48.5. A little bit more serious than the over 36.5 that I had with Oklahoma State, Iowa State last week. Oklahoma can put up 41 of those points for me. Potentially all 48.5. I mean they're at Oklahoma. Oklahoma is they just want to tear you to pieces on offense, and they don't pull their starters. Like they just don't care.
They can't. They can't pull their starters.
Yeah, they just don't care. And so it's one of those where 48.5 is a bit steep when one side it's just such a lopsided matchup. But I looked at Iowa State to at least put up a handful of points, and that's all the more I need to hit that over.
Joey, bring us home.
All right, my last one. This is going to be a pick one for my buddy who is from Iowa. He's an assistant football coach with me. He is a huge Iowa Hawks fan. Lives here now, dude. All right, he lives here now.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
yeah, it does.
Yeah, that checks out.
That's
okay.
I'll turn the applaud sign off, the laughter sign off.
And so I'm going to go Hawkeyes, and then I hate Michigan State. I hated Michigan State before. I hated them more when Mel Tucker went there because that guy's a piece of shit. And I hate them now even more after all the bullshit they had with Larry Nassar. And I even hate him now more because Mel Tucker ends up being a piece of shit and he gets kicked out for
twice over
again. So I'm going to take the under of 36.5. Iowa's going to pound them and win this game like 12-3. It's gonna or 12-6 or something asinine like that. Iowa's gonna beat them under 36.5.
It's a bold move, but did you guys hear that Iowa's offensive coordinator triggers a bonus in his contract if he averages more than 25 points a game, or I think if he just scores 25 points
at all
in a game.
Yeah, but they can't do it.
And so far, that's an offer on that. So I love that under pick.
That's a wild incentive.
Yeah, they can't do it. I mean, it's like I love them to death, but I mean, you look at their last games, 14-24. That was a barnstormer for them. All right, 20-13. They got whooped by Penn State, unfortunately, 31-0. But then, they just don't score a lot of points, and they don't let up points. They beat Western Michigan 41-10. Michigan State is going to be tougher than Western Michigan, but I think 36 points between the two of them, that is very questionable.
I'm going to wrap up by taking the Chiefs over. It hit last time. Vegas is playing some weird games. I think it was 45 was the over-under for the Chiefs-Bears. The Chiefs-Jets is 42.5. The defense is only giving up 10 points a game, but the Chiefs can easily score 35-40. In the Pat Mahomes era, they're averaging 30. They're a walking 30. So they're going to easily get there. Will they give up 6 to 10, maybe 14 max to the Jets? Sure. But, I mean, 42.5 for a Chiefs game might be, I said it last week, but this might actually be the lowest I've ever seen for a Chiefs over. So
yeah,
because
the Jets are trash. That's
they are. Yeah, and the Chiefs' offense is getting better. The Chiefs' defense. So, I mean, hell, it could be 43-0.
I like you, Kirk Cousins. Stay away from there. I don't want to hate you.
Yeah.
I don't want to hate you.
Christopher, wrap us up.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and take the Bengals -2.5. I think at the end of last night's game, they started to kind of get it together. They started to look like the Bengals of old. Joe Burrow's leg just seems to be slowly getting better and better. They're starting to figure out how to kind of work around him not having quite the long ball that they would expect. Yeah, I think Bengals -2.5 at the Titans.
I hope so. I love Joe Burrow.
Well, you hope that Chris wins a bet? That's not how the game's played.
Well, no, I'm here to support my brethren. All right.
I put all of our ad money on this bet, so you better be rooting for me too.
You know, Cody, you being that much of a naysayer just shows the fact that you're in last place. I want you guys to succeed because I know I'm going to. You put that positivity out, it works for you, buddy.
You know what I'm positive about?
It's not the end of the show.
No, it's the end of the show.
Oh, no.
Episode 10 in the books. I can't believe they haven't shut us down yet, guys. Follow us on Instagram. Keep sending in your squeezes. We're building a little community of morons here that we are so excited to have all of you a part of here. This is your show, built for the morons, by the morons. So
let's get some viewer squeezes next week. I love it.
Send in some squeezes, folks.
I love it. That'll do it for us. That'll do it. Keep drinking. Happy Friday to everyone. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the sports. And we'll be back next week.
Cheers, everyone.
Love
Go Rams.
Go Chiefs.
Go Big Reds.
Go Pats.
Just go Big Red.